Hey, what's up, y'all? Man, I went all the way. Like I was so busy trying to get this Jeep go cross country to see my family. I flat out forgot to upload the dang Motobilts spare tire carrier video. So I'm a doofus. Like I was in such a hurry, man, to get this Jeep going. But like I said, as I promised y'all on Mama, here is the Motobilts spare tire carrier video. Alright, what's up, y'all? So when I got done with the vet the other day, I started painting on my Motobilts spare tire carrier, and I got it all textured up. I actually just bed lined it. Still a couple pieces on the hinge part that need to be painted and textured, so I'm gonna go ahead and texture those. Last night it was dark, and you know how it is when you're painting outside and it's nighttime. You don't ever see, can't really see what you're painting. So I'm gonna take the little bracket pieces back out and put them out here in the sun and give them another coat, let the sun bake them on. Got a pretty sunny day today. And then I'm gonna back the Jeep around here and start tearing the back end of it out. I haven't watched any videos or anything on how this goes on, but by looking at it, I have a good idea how it goes on. Pretty straightforward. So I basically have to tear the passenger side, all the plastics and stuff out to access the hinge part. So I'm gonna pull my Jeep around, pull the fridge out, probably have to pull the rack out, and then get into that side. TG, I go pull the Jeep around here and get to taking this back end apart. This thing's funny. That's just a resonator delete and turbo smarts blow off valve. Yeah, so I know I've got to get into here, correct, because I know for a fact these pieces right here are going to go in here like so and bolt to the body. So this piece right here, like I figured, the sub and all has got to come out. So I'm gonna start tearing this thing apart back here. First, I'm gonna take this out in the front yard and put another coat of bed liner on it, and then I'm gonna get in here and tear the fridge and the rack and all this panel right here out. I gotta get my kitchen and stuff. It's all in there. Got it all packed in there. All right, so I took the whole speaker panel out. Or actually, I took this whole box out, and this thing's screwed into the back. And I don't think the mounting depth's gonna work, so I may save that for another project. But this whole thing right here is sealed up. It's a very small box. Probably gonna leave that for another project. But after dropping that down, I realized that these bolts were not behind that. They are behind the tail light. And if you don't already know, to get the tail light off in the JL is super easy. There's bolts, 10 mil bolts behind these little pockets right here. One on this side, this one's open, and the bolt, where'd it go? It's gonna have a little spring on it like this, little plastic bolt. It's a 10 millimeter, or it's got a Torx bit in there. Not sure what that is, probably like a 40 or 20. Yeah, it's got a 10 millimeter and a Torx. That's what holds it in. Just take the tail light out. So I'm gonna leave this strap on. I'm just gonna, once I get the tailgate off, I'm just gonna set it right here, and that'll allow me to get in here and take these off and get those out. But I'm gonna take the gate off while it's sitting up here. I'm gonna take all this off. This got to go. I'm not sure about these bumpers, if they stay or not. They probably gotta go too. I'm gonna go on Motobilts site in a minute and look it up on how to do this camera part of it, because I want to keep my camera. But I'm gonna zip this thing off and then unbolt the gate from the hinge, and then unbolt these two hinges and pull those out. Pretty cake, pretty simple install. And then this thing right here will just, the gate will flip upside down and bolt to this. Pretty easy. My gate from my hinge. I didn't want to take this wiring harness off for these lights, so I just left it hanging. Probably should have took that off, but that's all right. She's gonna hang right there until I get this on. Also, these bolts are behind these little paper things right here, so if you do ever do that, you can just pop your hand in it like that. Peel this out. This is just sealing dirt from getting in here. I'm gonna put something back over this later, but there we go. There's our bolts, our 613s. Let's get the ratchet on here and get these things out. Let's see. I took my tail light out because I managed to see in there. I managed to mess up that closer. This thing right here. I managed to mess this thing up real good. I think I bent the arm. I'm not real sure. I'm gonna work on that later. I got frustrated and the arm just kept bending and it won't go in there straight. So I think I'm gonna have to bend that back out and adjust that to get that to work back. But we got it on. It is kind of high. It lines up, but it's kind of high right now because there's no weight on it. Once you put some weight on this thing, I think it's gonna, it'll pull the gate down enough. So I have to put a little bit of weight on it to get it to shut. I'm gonna go get a bite to eat and go get a valve stem because I'm a doofus and I put this tire on and forgot that I broke the tire pressure sensor and I didn't have a valve stem in it, so I'm about to pull the tire up and fish my arm in there and get that valve stem put in there. But that looks a lot better. I'm glad I went with black. I'm glad I didn't do white. Everything else is black and white. That matches great. Pretty happy with it. Here's one thing you don't want to forget before you put your cover back on is put something over these holes. I use some Gorilla Tape because you do see daylight down through there and dust will come through there, and this whole thing will be covered in dust. If you look, there's a little bit of dust already coming around this little guy. That's because if you look, there's a straight hole through there. You can't really see it, but it goes all the way through, and basically just the thickness of that rod and that grease in there is keeping that dust out. Alright, this thing went together really good. I got my next two pieces on there, which is just, this is a plate where you can adjust it up and down, and then this little plate right here adjusts your backspace in. If you got a low backspace wheel and you want to suck it tight, you could move it in. I'm just guessing on mine because mine's pretty wide. And then I took the trusty dusty grinder and I pulled this ring off and just ground it and broke it so I could put my camera on there. When I get in from this project, I'm probably gonna go buy the bracket kit for the license plate. Did not think about that, but the only thing I have to do right now is tighten the hinge bolts up, grease them, everything else is tight, and then I want to go to the store down the road and get a valve stem. I'm gonna remount this tire again and we're gonna set it on there. All right, I didn't record me trying to put that spare up there. I went into town, cooked me some food, and then came home and put that valve stem in a spare, and it was a booger to get up there by myself. But I got it up there. Super happy with it. for sure not going to come off. Feels pretty stable, and I got my spring, or my hinge is a little on the tight side. It shuts perfect. It does wobble a little bit. Not sure where that's coming from. Looks like just a lot of it's tire wobble where it's still kind of flat, but it's definitely solid. It's not coming off there whatsoever. Pretty happy with it. I'm gonna grease this dude up and we're gonna send it like that. I like it. I think I'm gonna call that. I like that. Got a 40 on the JL for a spare. I'm gonna put my fridge and my kitchen set back in there, and there it is, the Motobilt JL rear tire carrier. I got a 40 on it with a 17-inch B-lock. Feels good. Feels sturdy. Wasn't that big a deal to put together, put on. I think the worst part was painting it. Yeah, the install was super easy, straightforward. I got a lot of cleaning up to do in my garage. I've been doing projects here, there, and everywhere, so I'm gonna do a little cleanup, and then I got 3 videos to edit, so I'm gonna go in there and edit those. Man, that thing sure does look good. It's got a good look to it. Super happy with this thing, man. Yeah, I can't really, look at that. If you're looking for a beefy spare tire carrier, that I don't think it was really that expensive. Yeah, you got to paint it yourself, so what? But that thing's holding a 40 up there. The body lines look straight. That thing closes and opens perfect. You don't got to slam it. 10 out of 10 on that piece, man. Motobilt knocking crap out the park always. So I'm gonna get off here. That's gonna be it for this one. And next go around, I'm probably going to be doing the fenders. Fenders are coming in. I also ordered a basket for the top just to carry some of my boxes, to have some extra storage going across the country. That's probably not going to be a permanent thing. It's just going to be a rack with some roof rails where I can take on and off. I'm going to get me a rack where I can put my boxes on top. That's going to be it. You got any comments? Leave them down below. Appreciate y'all for watching, and I'm going to see y'all in the next one.